What is good with y'all? It's your boy Chris, and we're back on Spurs Spotlight with another banger.
Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright team, today we're going to be looking to find Zach Collins a new home. I've decided to put our differences aside, and I'm not condoning no Zach Collins slander anymore. I hope he has a great career somewhere that's not the San Antonio Spurs, but I just feel like he's not the fit that we need. For the ideal backup to Wemby, I feel like we need a real bruiser, a Walker Kessler type, Andre Drummond type, obviously not them, but just those type of players. And I just think that Zach Collins is not that. In the beginning, we thought he was going to be a floor spacer, but as we know, the shot wasn't falling in the first half of the season. Obviously, he tuned up a little bit towards the second half of the season, but the defense just wasn't there. And I feel like we need to maintain that defensive anchor while Wemby is off the court, because as we saw last season, they would just attack and attack as soon as Wemby came off the court. So today, we're going to be cooking up some trades, some potential trades that I'm just coming up with off the dome. Y'all let me know down below which one is y'all's favorite and which one y'all would actually like to see. Now, I don't think we're going to trade Zach Collins, but if we were, then I think these would be our best bets. So looking up here, these are players being traded. We got some people to be looking at, I think would be maybe Walker Kessler, but you know, the Jazz, I don't think they're giving up anything without 7 first-round picks. You got Moses Moody. I think that could be interesting. Duncan Robinson, George Niang. I don't know. Georgie, Kevon Looney. Oh, Cam Johnson could also be a target. Those are some people that I think we could be looking at. First, I'm going to start off with a trade package going to the Heat. So I know they kind of want to run Bam at the 4, or that's kind of the idea with Khalil Ware. Although I don't know how much Khalil Ware is actually going to be playing this year. So we could send Zach Collins over there. And Bam could help a little bit with Zach Collins' lack of rim protection. So they could kind of run like what the Spurs were thinking with Collins at the center and Bam at the power forward. And Zach Collins could actually space the floor a little bit with his shooting next to Bam, because he's supposed to be a stretch 5. In this trade, I think we would actually take Duncan Robinson, and we would get a little bit more shooting. Now, I think Duncan Robinson is on the last year of his deal, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, 2 years, $19 million. That is a hefty price for Duncan Robinson, but they have about the same contract, and they're both 2 years. So I think this could work out. Duncan Robinson has actually been someone named in trade conversation, so I think they could be looking to move on from Duncan Robinson, and we could give them Zach Collins to replace that in somewhat of the shooting. Obviously, Zach Collins isn't as good of a shooter as Duncan Robinson, but he could still space the floor next to Bam, and I think that's what the Heat will be looking for in this situation. And then you still have Jimmy as their starting 3, along with Tyler Herro and Terry Rozier, with Jaime Jaquez continuing to develop as the backup small forward. This would be the outline of the trade. Obviously, you could tweak it a little bit more if they ask for maybe, I couldn't see them really asking for too much. You could honestly throw them a couple second-round picks like this, and honestly, they could have 2 second-round picks if they really wanted to. But the second-round picks could fluctuate. I don't really know how the Heat would want to go about this. Maybe you don't have to give up anything at all, and it's just a straight-up trade like this, or you throw them 1 or 2 second-round picks. But I think this could favor both teams. Like I said again, you give the Heat this stretch 5, who they're really looking for, to again put Bam at the power forward. And I believe the last time Bam was the power forward, they were in the finals, but that starting center was Myers Leonard, I think. So obviously Zach Collins is an upgrade from that, and he could stretch the floor. So I think Zach Collins would benefit from being in a situation like this in Miami. And then you give the Spurs a 3-point specialist who they really haven't had one since Doug McDermott. So this is the first trade, and I think this actually could work out. Y'all let me know what y'all are thinking. But on to the second trade. Next, we're going to go on to someone who is actually in trade conversations for the Spurs, and that is Cam Johnson. I don't think the Spurs are going to move on from Keldon Johnson this offseason. Like I've been saying, buy all the Keldon Johnson stock. There's actually been a workout video of Keldon Johnson. Maybe we could go over that in a future video, but this one is kind of like the Duncan Robinson trade. With the Nets, they're tanking, so I feel like they would want 1 first-round pick. I don't know if the Spurs will be willing to give up a first-round pick. I don't know the exact price the Nets are looking for Cam Johnson, But then again, they're tanking. They're trying to be the worst team and get Cooper Flag. So, I mean, the asking price can't be that much. I mean, you could throw there. I don't know if you want to give up a first round pick in this, but Cam Johnson could be a pretty good piece to help the Spurs build in the future. So I wouldn't mind giving up a first round pick, but I can also see the Spurs not wanting to give up a first round pick. I could see it going either way. I would see the Spurs giving up this Charlotte pick. If anything, I can't see them really giving up anything more. If you really understand what this pick is, you understand that it's not a real first round pick. This is more for the team to show their fan base, like, look, we got a first round pick for Cam Johnson. But this is most likely going to convey into seconds. Maybe throw one more second round pick, but I don't know if I'm overpaying. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. These are two trades that I really like, and it gives us a 3-point specialist, which we don't really have on the team. And then for the Nets, they don't really have a center other than Claxton, Day'Ron Sharpe. Okay, I don't know much about Day'Ron Sharpe, but like I said again, Zach Collins could run the 4 alongside Nick Claxton, and then they would be able to trade Dorian Finney-Smith off because, like I said again, they're tanking and trying to just get draft assets. This trade wouldn't be as beneficial to the Nets because, like I said again, they're a tanking team, so they kind of want to lose, but this will be pretty good for the Spurs. On to the next and final trade now. I've actually thought about this one a little bit. I just can't get this to work, but I really like this for the Spurs, and I would like it for the Warriors too. They kind of get a stretch 5 who could fit next to Draymond Green, kind of similar to the Bam situation, where I feel like Draymond could take away some of those weaknesses in Zach Collins' defense. Obviously, Draymond, a former Defensive Player of the Year, not in his prime, but still a defensive anchor who anchors this whole defense. In this trade, we could be looking to get an actual backup center in Kevon Looney. He's on a 1-year deal. I don't know if the Spurs would want to hang on to him, but he is a championship center, and he's only 28 years old, which isn't bad. He's on a 1-year deal, only $8 million. And like we saw in the beginning, Moses Moody and Kevon Looney were both in the trade talks. The Warriors could be looking to move on from these guys. I don't know what the Spurs would do with Moses Moody exactly. I don't know how they would view him. He's only 22 years old, but he does have 1 year on his deal, which I don't know if it has a team option right here, and Kevon Looney would just be an unrestricted free agent. I can't see Kevon Looney demanding very much money because he was a free agent for a very long time this past season. Although he wasn't a hot name on the market, I think he is a very quality backup center, obviously with championship DNA. And he has some chemistry with Chris Paul because they were just teammates. Moses Moody obviously could be a project player. And in this trade, maybe you could give them Malachi Branham or Blake Wesley. But like I said before, I don't know how to make this trade work. I've kind of looked at it a lot of ways, but it just doesn't go through because I think the Warriors need to give up. Collins' contract is too much to take on. This would hard cap the Warriors. If y'all have any way to make this trade go through, y'all leave it down below in the comments because I think this would be the perfect trade for the Spurs. And honestly, someone like Zach Collins would thrive in the Warrior system. All he would have to really do is set screens, pop occasionally, and learn how to be more consistent with the three-pointers, which I feel like he'll eventually get around to. With Draymond Green by his side, he wouldn't be attacked as much. Kevon Looney, in my opinion, although he's only 6'9", I feel like he plays bigger than Zach Collins would. I feel like he would thrive in the Spurs system. So let me know what y'all guys are thinking. Do y'all like any of these trades? Another thing, can y'all help me get this trade to somehow pass through? Y'all leave it down below in the comments. The Warriors need to make up $2 million more. It's just real hard to get it to go through without giving up somebody that the Warriors actually want to keep. Obviously, in this trade, Spurs would have to give up a little bit more, maybe a couple picks or something. I don't think nothing crazy. Like I said, y'all let me know what y'all like, any of these trades that I cooked up. Let me know if you have any trade ideas of your own, and leave them down below in the comments, and I'll skim through and see which ones I like. Y'all leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to Spurs Spotlight as always, join the Spurs Spotlight Discord. The link is in the comments and in the description. And until then, it's me, your boy Chris, and I'm out. Peace.